Welcome
to the back,
to the back,
to the back
to the back
podcast.
podcast. Okay. It's just felt,
And it's over. Okay.
it feels what it felt like, yeah.
I don't know.
Sorry, we've been having technical issues the last few weeks, and like I noticed it a few weeks ago where it sounded like I was the only one that was cutting in and out, just at like a few spots, and it was like, okay, it was just whatever. And then the week after, I noticed it more, and then this past week, if I've listened, you heard like there's a lot of spots where both of us are cutting out a lot, and I think it maybe whenever the power went out like a month ago, and it maybe messed something up. I don't know.
Maybe.
Like, so we did a test this weekend, but it still makes me a little paranoid. So I made us test like twice before we started, and then I was still paranoid. And he's like, I don't know what you want me to do.
The only thing I had is, it was like 5 times. And one in my head is, you haven't watched it, but maybe you've seen the meme where it's the Beckham series where it's Victoria, and they're talking about how she grew up with like her parents, and she was claiming she didn't grow up wealthy.
Yeah, I told you about that.
And then he didn't tell me about it. I saw it.
No, I did tell you about it like months ago.
I saw it when it came out.
Okay,
I saw it when it came out because it was viral. It was the thing where it's like, no, what car did your dad drive?
Yeah.
I love David Beckham. He's a great personality. That's just solidified.
I just like I like couples that give each other shit, like in a fun way. Like,
yeah,
I'm gonna call you out when
friends.
you're being when
that
they're friends.
Signifies a good couple, a good relationship.
They've been together a long time.
Since he was, I just watched it. I think it was definitely his early 20s.
Yeah.
So almost 2 decades for sure.
For sure.
Yeah. There was like a scandal with him maybe cheating, in like 2008, 2000 thing that rebuild their relationship. I think through therapy, and they talked about it.
Oh wait, he did cheat?
I don't know.
I don't remember that.
I like to think he wouldn't, but like again, it's none of our business.
Yeah. But
it's a really fucking good series.
Well, I'll watch it whenever I'm finished with How to Get Away with Murder. I told you I'm like finishing that because I never finished it because it's a show that we both have this issue with shows we really like, not wanting to finish them because we don't want them to end. But then this week I see on Netflix, it's gone at the end of the month. So I was like, oh, I need to finish this now.
I finished some shows though, like, and I would say I like them. Like I finished Breaking Bad. I like Breaking Bad.
Yeah.
And I finished it. I guess like my comfort shows, I don't like to finish.
It's sad that How to Get Away with Murder is a comfort show for me.
I don't think it's the same thing, but you actually see the trend of like, oh, I love listening to true crime. I like true crime.
I don't like listening to that, but
good, because what I'm about to say is good.
What?
For that. Studies come out like it's like a bad sign. Like science is like, that's not a good sign. That's like a sociopath sign.
I think
sociopathic
the reason,
tendencies. They said.
I know. I think the reason like I don't like stuff like that is because of what I've experienced in my real life. Like I know how terrible people are.
Yeah.
And I get when you hear a title like How to Get Away with Murder, you're like, well, then why would you watch that? Well, first off, it's definitely like more in the soap opera lane because the stuff that happens is so outlandish.
I just realized I like it, and then when it gets,
it's like really good soap opera.
No, here's the thing, and then I just don't like soap opera, like the format of in general. So I like How to Get Away with Murder, but there are times it gets into that like lane of soap opera-ness that like it detracts me.
Yeah.
I just made that connection now. Like, oh, it is a soap opera.
Yeah,
it's
is
a good
in
one.
A sense.
It's not on the same level as like Days of Our Lives or anything like that. Like it's so much better.
You're gonna make so many soap opera
fans.
I don't even know if that's still
soap
around.
The only soap operas I actually genuinely like are Mexican or Latin soap operas, telenovelas.
Telenovelas, yeah.
Those are good. Telenovelas.
Okay. Well, I
ooh, crispy.
Look, I was
those are drama.
I was an ABC girly. I grew up on One Life to Live in General Hospital. And General Hospital was the one.
General Hospital.
Again,
Grey's Anatomy. I know it's not the same.
General Hospital, it was so good. It was so good. I mean, that's what birthed Ricky Martin. Just so you know, like he was on there, and then he like I think a few years after he left the show is when he exploded. But anyhow, I think part of the reason I like How to Get Away with Murder so much is because the shit that happens then, like it's just like the most horrific things that happen, and it feels a lot like my life. Like it's stranger than fiction, but like it's real. Like, you think of the things that I've gone through, how could one person go through that many things? And so I think that's part of the reason why, like, with, like, Viola Davis's character, Annalise Keating. I like, except for I'm not this, brilliant, badass lawyer.
Okay. Yeah, the lawyer part, you're definitely not a lawyer. You could. I love you, but you could not be a lawyer.
Why?
You cannot lie for shit.
I know you're right.
Like they would see
I'd only
right
be able
through
to
you.
defend truly
Your
innocent people.
Your Honor. Come on now.
Oh, and I could never work on the side of
You could never be a defense attorney
yeah,
for sure.
That's what I'm saying. They'd have to, for real, be innocent.
I don't get some like defense attorneys,
You
like
know
like
what,
the
though?
one like with like going on with P Diddy. Like, how can you
Oh
defend
my
that man?
God.
Like, I get it's your job, and like I can maybe understand some defense attorney cases, and like still trying to work around that more morally, but jeez,
No, like legitimately, and that's what it comes down to why I couldn't be any kind of attorney. Because except for like maybe environment, but no, even then, because like my like I said, I have such a strong sense of justice, right?
yeah,
I would literally just be losing my mind every day at the politicalness of it all, like, because there's so much politics in it. I wouldn't be able to be a defense attorney. I wouldn't be able to be on the side of the government because I know how corrupt and terrible that's the judicial system is. Like, I would constantly just be, I'd probably get disbarred, honestly, because I would really be cussing out a lot of people about how that's not right. Like,
yeah,
so I don't think that I could argue. I think I'm smart enough. That's not
yeah.
the issue.
Well,
It's
then
just,
you that's just going, and then you do debate,
yeah. Debate I think I could do.
which debate's annoying. I hate debate.
I like arguing
I like
to
arguing,
a
but I
degree.
hate debating. Like the. I know that's an oxymoron, or like that's like dumb what I just said, but it's just like I like arguing, but it's only like arguing about frivolous or like trivial things like superhero fights or whatever, or I like arguing about things I'm like extremely passionate about human rights. But like debate, it's just basically it doesn't really matter morally if your stance is correct. It just matters if you can make the correct talking points and prove
Yeah.
someone wrong
I,
in a logical
I didn't mean
way.
like
And
a
that's
debate in like actual like formal setting. I just mean,
yeah.
I was actually talking to Natasha about that because, there's studies that have shown that people with ADHD like arguing because it gives them serotonin or dopamine, right?
Ugh.
And I don't feel like I do to a degree. Like, I do like the things you were talking about, like kind of just to like go back and forth with ideas, but only if it's with people I feel are safe that can
Yeah.
handle it. Because once it becomes to like an actual argument, I shut down, and I know that has a lot to do with my trauma. Like, so outside of that, I hate arguments. I hate fighting.
Ooh, I want to say something because I was gonna mention it because we're talking about shows, but I have another show like I've been watching literally as of today. Woke up at 2 a.m.
Oh,
Binged all the first season of The Bear. I'm 2 episodes into the second season as of this afternoon. Let me get out this way. I know you were like talking about to me later how I was like, it's not a comedy. People like gets mad at the Emmys that it won. No, it's a comedy.
it's
No,
not.
you haven't watched it? No, I need you to listen to me
I've
and
seen.
let me have the floor for a minute without you making a rebuttal. Jeez, I have laughed so many times, and you know how many times I've told you, I feel like my humor is broken because it takes a lot from a
Yeah.
show or something to make me audibly laugh. But I've literally, I don't know if other people do this, but like I've laughed aloud. I've lulled, at this show, which like shows don't make me do anymore, sadly. But also like I don't know if you ever do this, but when you're watching a show alone and like something like happens or like this character does something stupid or something like cool or whatever, I like talk to them. I'm like, no way, bro. I'm like this. I'm like, are you serious? Are you serious right now? I said it aloud, and there's no one in the room, and I know no one's gonna hear me.
Yeah.
But like I sometimes, yeah, I'm comforted in my mind in talking with my inner dialogue, but sometimes that dialogue has to just spew out, you know?
Yeah.
But I want to say something that I think would actually be beneficial for our relationship or anybody's.
I don't
That's a
know.
thing in The Bear
Mm-hmm.
that has to do with arguing.
Yeah.
And do you care if it's like it's like the small spoiler it could be? Like it doesn't have anything to do with the plot. It's just like something they mention.
Okay.
Basically, the main character he talks about when he was working in a restaurant, two of his cooks, when they would get into heated arguments, they would rub their I think it's either the left side or this side, they would like rub their chest like this
Mm-hmm.
while they're arguing, and it basically signifies we're arguing, and I know that it's getting heated right now, but basically this is sorry for advance. We'll talk about it later.
Yeah.
Like it's basically like I'm like I can't control myself right now, and I understand that, but I have to like because we're in a serious environment. And so I
Yeah.
was like, hey, if we ever got arguing. Cause I said it aloud, like, can we just like please stop? Can we just stop? And I know we can't. Like we literally
No, I
can't. I hate
can't.
it. We just talk about how we love arguing, but I also hate arguing with people I love
Well,
and making them feel bad, even though I'm not trying to really, like,
we
genuinely.
both like I very clearly stated when it's friendly, when it's about like when it's a friendly like debate about politics or things that like
Yeah.
like or shows or whatever. When it's outside of that and it's like more personal, I don't like it.
Yeah.
And I really don't like, like you've seen me in it where I'm like, in my head I hear it and I'm like, I need to stop, but I can't because that switch has been set off. And because I'm an auditory processor,
Yeah.
that's why I continue on even when you're like, and that also has a lot to do with the trauma of being not heard so
Yeah.
much. So it's like when someone, it's not just you, like Andy would do it to me too, right? When it's like, I'm leaving, we'll talk about this later. I tell people that is the worst thing you can do to me. You do not want to leave me alone with my thoughts because I am going to get angrier at you. It will be worse later on.
Yeah.
Like, but that sucks because then
because other people don't process that way. Some people like literally have to take time. They can't deal with it right then and there. And if they do, then it's just gonna make it worse for
where
them.
you're concerned, yes.
I kind of go both ways.
Where
It
other
depends.
people are concerned, they just don't want to deal with it. They think if we put a pin in this, I'll be calmer later, and they'll get away with whatever we were arguing about.
Yeah.
And that's not going to be the case. Don't let me sleep on something. That's like the worst thing.
Oh, I hate ruminating on things. Because it eats away at my psyche. Like my you may be done with the argument, but the argument is continuing in my mind. Like you physically went away, but a metaphorical you stepped in for your place and kept arguing with me in my mind.
I'm still arguing with our lawn guy, and that was over a week ago in my head.
Like I love arguing, but I hate arguing. Like, hi, Jesus. Like I like arguing, and I'm like, okay, well, I regret this.
Right. Again, it's like it's a balance. But when you were talking about, I actually did that today. When you were talking about talking out loud to the TV, I just realized. I mean, I do that, but I was thinking, when's the last time I did that? I did that today when watching How to Get Away with Murder because the guy she's dating, he was like, I don't remember. They're like having this discussion and they're fighting about Annalise. Bonnie's the blonde.
No, I'm saying continue because it might be the same thing I did.
And he was like, he goes, he's like, well, we know like, she triggers your issues, and she goes, or something like, basically like. He made her, whatever he said that came out of his mouth made it seem like she was broken. And before she said anything, I was like, nah, it's the wrong fucking thing, dude. Like that's what audibly came out of my mouth.
It's not the exact same thing. Without spoilers, basically there was two characters and like they were in kind of a romantic-ish scene or like flirty-ish scene. And like I said aloud when the woman talked to the guy character in this, she said something that like was so endearing and sweet. I went, oh my god, you gotta marry her. You gotta marry her. I literally I was like, there's no way someone says that to me and I don't ask them to marry me on the spot. There's no way someone says that. I was like, because it was so meaningful. I was like, I want someone to care for me that much.
No, that's the exact opposite.
It was crazy. Bro.
But another one.
Hey, sorry. You go.
I was gonna say, since we're on the topic of shows, and if somebody just happens to actually listen to this, if you want, like, so I've watched, this is a show, like, obviously How to Get Away with Murder, I'm finishing off.
Yeah.
But I don't know why. I think it was because from a tweet. I told you this, that I saw someone talking about Mark Paul Gosselaar and saying one thing he's going to do is be in a show with a strong black female lead. And, and he's been in, like, at least two that I know of that I really liked that only got one season and it upset me. Where the female character that was like the main character was a black woman, but he's in this show called Found, and I don't know if it's exclusively on Peacock or if it's on NBC and Peacock. I think it's both. And I binged that first season in like 2 days. It was so
Oh, that's the
good.
show you did?
That's the show. It's called Found, and it's so good. And he plays a bad guy, and that's not really a spoiler. I'm not gonna until you watch the show, you won't know. But he makes me hate him so much that like I learned some. I always thought he was like a decent actor, but I mean, I know him from Saved by the Bell. That's where I first like had a crush on him, and I loved him in that character. But and not that he's done stuff outside of that, but this one I feel like is really branching off from what we normally see him as, and I just really liked it. And then I started watching The Irrational, which is the one that has Jesse L. Martin, who we both love. And I don't think it's as good as Found, but it's still good. And both of those deal with, because like Found is like I told you, is like these vigilantes that are basically finding missing people that the cops don't find. And then The Irrational is he's a psychology professor like that studies human behavior, and he helps solve cases. And I just realized something, like I really like cop-like drama.
I was about to get to it. Like, I was connecting the dots. I was like, she's like, I don't like politics. I don't like cops. All the shows you watch, Scandal, How to Get Away with Murder, all these cop shows. I was connecting the dots. You should have seen my face.
Hold on, wait. But here's the common thread. Stop. Here's the common thread, right?
I saw it.
It's
black people.
It's black people.
How to Get Away with Murder, Scandal. Hey,
all black.
I like them when black people are in charge.
I do, and they're all going against
when it's not the white man.
They're all going against the man. Like all of them, like
the man.
I will tell you, both Found and The Irrational do really good jobs of highlighting social injustice issues.
Yeah.
Like in a way, I told you, like in a way that I definitely wouldn't have seen 10 years ago. Like we saw it with a little bit with Scandal and How to Get Away with Murder, but like it's a step further now. And I do. I like.
You like it when it's dramatized, but you don't like cops.
I don't like cops.
No, I mean like the show Cops.
Oh God, I hate that show.
Yeah.
I do
you
like
Reno 911.
I do, and I like Law and Order SVU because again, they're doing their job. That's probably Law and Order SVU is probably the only cop show I like where it's like actual cops doing their job. All of the rest,
cops, it's like criminal stuff,
right?
And, like anything to do with that,
and also the fact that they have like
iZombie, like that kind of.
Oh my God! I just realized.
Like literally your favorite shows of all. Hey, The Walking Dead main character is a cop.
He is
But that's crazy.
Here's the thread.
What the
all
hell?
of these people are, even though if they're in the system, they're bucking the system, they're finding justice. That's what it is. I just like shows about justice where actual justice is
the only justice
done.
shows I like are like superhero shows. If I get into the thing, I actually like the I like Breaking Bad. I like the criminals.
I told you I liked Breaking Bad until like season 4, and then I was like, I hate everybody I'm supposed to like.
But it was the story. It basically went from the characters, so you're there for the story, and the story is so good.
What is it? I actually just saw a tweet not long ago. There was like, because it was about Winona Ryder, right? And they were like, you remember we talked about like, well, she's not anybody. I'm like, the reason we didn't hear from her for a while, right?
No,
because she got caught shoplifting. Yes, like 5,000 worth of merchandise. This was back sometime in I think the early aughts. I don't remember it. Like for like almost a decade, she was like kind of blackballed, and we really did treat her like so horribly.
Yeah,
like
almost every celebrity so horribly.
Like I meant like in a way that we don't treat some other ones that deserve to be treated that way.
We put them on the pedestal and we view them as almost godly figures.
But
I don't say we, because I don't.
Right.
But like society tends to put them at a pedestal, and so if they make human errors,
right,
or not even errors, then they do things that are human,
right,
we treat them as they're less than.
Well, what I'm saying now though is, in hindsight, a lot of people are like, what did Breaking Bad teach us? When white women shoplift, they're sad. Right?
Yeah.
And also F corporations. So like we don't feel as bad for corporations. I'm not saying she should have done what she did, but like we don't know mentally what she was going through, but the real reason is because studios couldn't insure her, like because of that for a while. But I am grateful that she's having this resurgence, but I do think that there was overkill with the way they acted. Like they acted like she murdered babies. Yeah. That's what they acted like, when there are men in this industry that have done so much vastly worse and get to go on and still like have podcasts. That's all I'm saying.
Or own Twitter.
Exactly.
I was trying to think of I don't think there's a common thread between the shows I like, the only one I could come up with was I like strong ensemble shows, like a very diverse cast and like a lot like that feature each character prominently.
I feel like
Like no,
yeah.
I'm okay. It happens every time I mention something. Like I say I like it, and you're like, well, I like that too. I wasn't saying you don't like that. I wasn't coming at you.
It felt that way.
If I say I don't like pooping my pants, am I saying you love pooping your pants? No. Stop taking that. Stop taking my.
Oh shit.
Stop Missy Elliott my words. Flip it and reverse it. But basically, like, hey, I like Community. My favorite shows. Avatar, strong ensemble. The Bear has a strong ensemble.
I'm not laughing at that. I'm still laughing at the poop in your
Ted
pants.
Lasso, strong ensemble. Atlanta, strong ensemble.
I still need to finish that.
I mean the Office, which I'm rewatching now, strong ensemble.
Parks and Rec.
I love Parks and Rec, but it's not one of my favorite shows.
Okay. Sorry. I thought I didn't know it was just favorites. I thought it was just the shows you
No,
like.
I said my favorites because we were talking about your favorite shows.
I'll remember that next week. I really will. I hope. I hope. It didn't come up on the thing last time, so.
One Piece.
Yeah.
Like these the shows are like, if it's like mainly about a one character, there are some shows I like, but they don't gravitate.
I'm trying to think
me
if
as
like there's any
much.
shows I watch that are just about one character.
Or like it's like I don't know.
I'm trying to think
Or like not as big of an ensemble. Like I like big, like not big, but like when like there's multiple characters that I can connect with.
I was thinking about Once Upon a Time and it ends up being a cop.
I actually was gonna mention Once Upon a Time earlier today, but it's just because I love the like shows that have transition music.
Mm-hmm.
I like it's like dun dun dun. I don't know the tune goes. You know what I'm talking about?
Yeah, I know.
I like it. Anyways, you want to do fall this or that?
Sure.
It's only 8.
Okay, that's
So it's
fine.
not long. So basically, we're gonna go through
It's
fall.
just like it was like this.
Well, see, I can't even.
There was no
I can't make a
transition.
move without getting judged.
It was
or
just
laughed
no
at.
transition. It was just like, anyhow.
Honestly, if I had more time and like and we like had money to hire an editor,
Yeah.
I would add transitions and cut out the dead
Yeah,
end
I know.
podcast, and it would be like, and it would make sense.
But that's why, like, when we're talking about we're having technical issues, it's not like we have somebody in a booth listening to tell us, by the way, guys, we can't hear you. We need to start again, or take a break, come back.
But basically, with this, it's gonna be a fall this or that, and I'm gonna give you this or that, and we'll say what we prefer on 3, and if we agree, then we'll just talk about why we agree. But if we don't, we get to argue. We get to argue, which we essentially love and hate. So first one, fairy lights or candles. Let me know when you're ready, and I'll start the count.
All right, I'm ready.
3, 2, 1.
Candles.
There you go.
Yeah.
This makes fairy lights are cool, but like you get the different sense with candles, and like there's so many different like candles and like media or like things that like make it look cool. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But yeah. All right. Next one. Pillows or plushies?
Okay.
Which I think would include stuffed animals.
Okay.
I gotta actually think about this. Okay. 3, 2, 1.
Pillows.
Dang. I want to say plushies because I like little cool, soft creatures, but like a nice pillow.
Because like like I have
a nice pillow.
50 million pillows on my bed, and I literally make a pillow fort around
I'm not
me
even
at
thinking about
night.
the quantity of pillows. I just like a really good pillow.
Yeah.
I think there's more plushies I like than pillows, honestly. But next one, apple pie or cinnamon rolls?
Okay.
3, 2, 1.
Cinnamon rolls.
Good. That was the only correct choice. These can be debated, but if you like apple pie over cinnamon rolls, you're dead inside. There's cinnamon rolls. There's cinnamon.
Somebody's gonna be like, "You're not American because you don't like apple pie."
You don't like apple pie.
Then fuck you. Like,
all right.
But I'm sorry, cinnamon rolls are so good.
Sweaters or fluffy blankets?
Oh, okay.
Oh.
That's probably the only one But the fairy lights and the candles was a struggle.
3, 2, 1.
Fluffy
Sweaters.
blankets.
You're crazy.
No.
Sweater weather. Sweater weather. Sweater weather.
You saw that clip, and it's
I made it.
like,
Yeah.
I know it's
sweater weather.
You're
You're crazy.
Sweater weather.
Sweaters.
I do love sweaters.
Sweater.
But like,
Sweater.
But a good fluffy blanket.
It just sounds good.
Look,
a sweater. Can I get your sweater?
You can
sweater?
never go wrong with giving me a soft.
The way you can style a
fluffy
sweater.
blanket. You can literally wear a blanket like a cape.
Sure. I mean, whatever floats your boat. But I'm not trying to be on that same boat with you.
Whatever.
Jump offshore. All right, Gilmore Girls or Stranger Things?
Oh, so
3,
easy.
2, 1.
Gilmore Girls.
I fuck Stranger Things.
Look,
I
in
hate-
hindsight,
Stranger Things is the most overrated TV show based on how popular it is versus how much I actually think it's good.
okay.
It's good, but it's not like, why are they making a new season? Like, chill.
I
it's not
I
that
only
good.
watched the 2 seasons, right?
Yeah, you only watch first 2.
And it wasn't good enough to make me want to come back. So let's just want to throw that out there. Nothing against Winona Ryder. She is amazing in it. And I mean, the kids are too. It just wasn't, I don't know. It just wasn't my thing.
Yeah.
Also, in hindsight, Rory and Lorelai's relationship is kind of toxic. Like, that whole family dynamic is toxic. And
Yeah.
Rory is the ultimate GT kid burnout. Like, except for, like, I don't think anybody ever told her, besides Paris, that she wasn't as special as she thought she was. Like, so, but I still love it because it's like the ultimate, like, fall
Yeah.
type
No,
show.
yeah, for fall.
And Stars Hollow is so picturesque. Like, I
it
legitimately,
mainly chose it for the vibe.
yeah, it's the vibe. And
I-
again, Melissa McCarthy, that's where I discovered her.
Yeah.
And I love her as Suki. So,
Okay, next one. Corn maze or pumpkin patch? I think we're
Okay.
gonna disagree here.
okay.
3, 2, 1.
Pumpkin
corn
patch.
maze. I like to be stimulated with a challenge.
I don't want to die.
No one said
Corn
corn
mazes are
maze
fucking
plus
scary.
murderers.
Really? Have you seen how many horror movies include a corn maze?
No,
Children of the Corn, literally.
I actively avoid horror movies, so no,
know,
I
right?
don't see that. But pumpkin patches, we literally have Sam trick or treat out there,
I know.
and like if you said carving pumpkins, that's a different thing. But a pumpkin patch is literally just a piece of land with pumpkins.
I know pumpkins. Like, you see, like, how many different kind of pumpkins there can be, and they're so
David
cool
S.
sensory wise.
Pumpkins.
That's such a, I love that.
He's so
Tom
good.
Hanks,
He's so
you're
valid.
such a
He's so
national treasure.
valid for doing that in SNL. Like to like just put himself
Oh
out
my
there.
god! I was. Oh yeah. Wait, were you almost done?
There's 2 more.
Okay, remind me to go back to Tom Hanks when we're done.
Okay. Pumpkin spice or hot chocolate?
Okay.
3, 2, 1.
Hot chocolate.
And like honestly, hot chocolate's more of a Christmas thing, but still, hot chocolate, just hot chocolate. Like it's
Into your.
Tom Hanks.
I
Tom
know,
Hanks.
right?
Tom Hanks.
I do.
He's everywhere.
I do love pumpkin spice. Like, I do a lot.
But it's not better than cinnamon, and cinnamon's also a fall flavor.
Yeah.
Like out of the fall flavors, you got cinnamon, apple, and pumpkin
apple
spice,
pie. Like,
and
I
like.
love.
I think it goes cinnamon, and then they're tied. The last.
Honestly, I wish they would start making more apple, like cinnamon apple drinks for like
Yeah.
coffee
Yeah.
over pumpkin spice, because I'm for that.
Okay, last one. Maple syrup or caramel.
Okay.
Caramel.
All right.
However
However
you
way
like,
you want to say that.
whatever way you want to say it.
I say it both, depending on the mood I'm in.
Ooh. See, here's the thing. It said caramel. Does that just include every kind of caramel? Like,
I'm thinking
'Cause I'm thinking
maybe
of, like,
in
the
the
dip
drizzle, like,
or the,
yeah.
well, I think like the thing you dip in apples. That's
Yeah.
different than like caramel syrup or a drip.
Right.
A drip.
I'm
Di-
guessing
drizzle.
syrup since they put it up against maple.
I don't know.
Okay,
'cause I'm
I
thinking
already
of-
know what I'm going to do.
Okay. 3, 2, 1.
Maple.
I gotta go caramel.
I know.
It's so good. It's just burnt sugar. It's just burnt sugar.
Melted sugar, right?
Burnt.
Burn. What?
Yeah.
Dakota,
Burnt.
say sprinkles.
Sprinkles. Yeah, put a little. I just love emphasizing my words. Burnt sprinkles. Burnt sprinkles. So sprinkles.
No, I like caramel. I just don't know if I like it as much as you like it.
I don't know if like you look a little too much.
I didn't,
We're actually gonna get a little worried.
like, which is crazy because I love Twix. Like that's one of my favorite and has
That's what I'm
caramel in it.
saying.
Yeah.
It's so diverse. Don't get me wrong. I love me some maple syrup.
I don't like it gets sticky. That's the issue for me. Like stickier than syrup. Like in your teeth,
I
it's stuck.
literally have a Spider-Man like plushie like kind of life size plushie that has
syrup
that
on it.
his left foot or something has
Wait, you still have
sticky
that
ass
somewhere?
syrup. I hope I do. I never
bet
got
it
rid
might
of
be in the
it.
garage. Yeah.
Yeah, don't scare me like that. I better.
Stop.
Tom Hanks. What are you gonna say?
Oh, I was gonna say. 'Cause remember, I was listening to Smartless, and I'm in December of 2020, like because it started from the beginning.
Yeah.
And I think the episode I'm right now is James Gordon, which like I know, but before that,
James Corden.
yeah,
I hate him.
before that it was Ron Howard.
Yeah.
And obviously Will and Jason know him because he was the voiceover for Arrested Development. And also like I think he produced it. Like I think that's anyhow. I was telling you like how one of the things was that he talked about like he started off on the Andy Griffith Show and then he went on Happy Days. He actually like kind of got the directing bug while on the Andy Griffith Show. But he didn't do any directing on Happy Days, even though they offered it. He was just like, I didn't want to be pigeonholed into doing TV. He really wanted to do movies.
Yeah.
And they were talking like, because this man has done like some of the biggest movies ever over the years, and has won. I think he's won Academy Awards. I think Apollo 13 got an Academy Award. But anyhow, when they were asking him like what he wanted his career to be like, and he was just like, I was just shooting for a good batting average, which is just crazy to me. He was like, I didn't want to put on myself that every time I put out a movie, it had to be the gold standard, it had to be the best of everything. That would just feel like too much pressure. And I was talking to you about how like I struggle with every time we come in here, it has to be the best show ever because I struggle with perfection so badly.
Yeah.
And
that's what we're gonna talk about.
Well, yeah, we still, but also to get to Tom Hanks, I wasn't going away from that. He was talking about Tom Hanks when they did Splash, right? So it was the first movie he did with him.
It's my favorite Tom Hanks movie that he's like live acted in.
And he was talking about like because that had John Candy and Eugene Levy, who are like these huge comedic actors in that,
Eugene
right?
Levy.
And Tom, he said it felt like Tom was just trying to keep up with them, and he needed Tom to just be the straight man in this.
Yeah.
And I guess he kind of got annoyed with him. And then when he went in to edit, he was like, oh, wait, this works. This really works. Like,
Yeah.
And so he's like, if I ever work with this guy again, I'm just going to let him do what he needs to do type of thing. And I just thought that was interesting. Originally, he was like, I don't know about this. And especially about Tom Hanks. But I mean, obviously he wasn't like Tom Hanks at that time. That took like, I mean, that was a pretty big movie for him, but even then, I don't think it was until like Forrest Gump that he was like Tom Hanks type of thing.
It's crazy because I'm not even the biggest fan of Forrest Gump.
It's not. I wouldn't say it's his best movie. I love Volunteers. That's a deep take.
I mean, if we're saying what his best movie is, and we just include anything he's ever been in,
I know you're gonna go Polar Express, aren't you?
No, it's Toy Story.
Oh, Toy Story.
Then it's Polar Express. But no, it's Toy Story. Are you crazy? Buzz, look, an alien.
I'm trying to think of like also like, I mean, there's a lot of his I haven't seen. I've never seen Castaway.
Castaways, we are castaways.
I've never seen. What is the one about the pirates that take over the ship? What is that one called?
Pirates Caribbean.
Yeah, that's what it is. Captain something. I don't know. There's a lot of his serious films I haven't seen,
Captain
but
Crunch.
I've seen. I hate you so much. I've seen Saving Private Benjamin, and that one is just. Everyone talks about how good it is, but God, it's so boring and depressing. And
Captain Phillips.
Thank you. That's what it is.
Wait, is that the?
I'm the captain now.
I'm the captain now. I am the captain now.
Yeah.
I am the captain.
That's what that's from.
I haven't seen Sully.
Which one?
Sully.
I haven't seen that either.
The Da Vinci Code is really good.
Yes, I do love that.
I haven't seen
I saw
Big.
that on a date.
I haven't seen Big.
Big is really
I haven't
good.
seen the Green Mile.
Green Mile's really good.
I haven't seen the Terminal.
That I love that. That's actually one of my
I've
favorite
seen
movies of
Sleepless
his.
in Seattle.
Well, his rom coms. Oh no, then I say that's my favorite, but I love Joe versus the volcano. Dakota, you should watch The Terminal. As an actor, I think you really, really, really will love it
The
because
bear.
it's like set in just in a one terminal in the
Yeah.
airport. Like it's so good though.
It's like a movie with Jake Gyllenhaal Drive, I think.
I mean,
Or no,
yeah,
not Drive.
yes.
I'm thinking of Tom Hardy, and it's just in his car. It's really good, apparently.
Yeah, or like 12 Angry Men, where it's just in that jury room.
I have such a weird thing with 12 Angry Men because it's just any piece of literature, movie, book that deals with race heavily was taught so much in school and never by a person of color. And so whether it's good or bad, I have kind of a disdain for it because I was being taught something by someone I feel like didn't connect with it or didn't really care about what was being told, or the media itself was kind of problematic. Not saying that 12 Angry Men is that, it's just it has to do with race, and the memory that comes up is a white English teacher telling me about it.
So you would be like the parent on Abbott Elementary when they find out that Jacob is the one teaching about Black history.
I wouldn't be so opposed to it, but like, I'd be apprehensive. I would. I would if it wasn't like honestly nowadays, like yeah, I would be apprehensive. But I wouldn't completely dismiss him being able to teach that to kids, because I do think there is a perspective that comes from a white person that it like can bring a unique perspective of like, oh, acknowledging the privilege. But Jacob isn't these white teachers in the South. Like, he's not.
Yeah, he's in Philly.
I'm not gonna use the word woke, but he's like.
What you mean is somebody, if it was somebody like
self-aware.
me, you would be less apprehensive because you would know that I want to make sure the actual truth is being told.
Yeah.
And not being whitewashed.
And you wouldn't say the N-word when we were reading To Kill a Mockingjay or something.
To Kill a Mockingbird.
I hate that book.
It's not Katniss Everdeen out there. Such a mess.
Racism.
No, 100%. I've never had the desire to, nor want to. I'm really okay with it.
The only one that had to do with race that was like read to me by a white person that I like is A Raisin in the Sun. I love A Raisin in the Sun.
You hated that teacher though.
Yeah, I hated that teacher, which is crazy. But that play, have you read it?
It's been a long time. I did, but it's been a long time ago.
It was something I'd love to do. Like, I don't really like traditional like theater, but I would love to do that.
I love traditional theater. Like, I might actually hold on.
Musicals, or are you saying
no?
Like,
I'm saying like traditional theater. I might actually like traditional
it's
theater more than musicals.
It's a bug when you get a good, when you see a good play. It's like
the high you get off of like the crowd and like that adrenaline of, you know, coming in and out of scenes and playing off each other. Like I do miss that.
It's just sport. I literally said when I was watching the David Beckham thing, and one of his old teammates was talking about how like when he's getting close to retirement, like it's a drug. He like athletes, like when they're done, like they don't know what to do with themselves.
Yeah.
Like that adrenaline, there's nothing like it.
Right.
Which of course David Beckham created an MLS team and now has Messi playing for it. So it's like,
oh wait, I didn't know that.
Yeah, it's he's the founder of Inter Miami. You know, Messi plays for Miami.
I did not know that.
He's played for like 2 years now. You seem like they have the whole thing is that they have pink kits.
I mean, that makes
You've
sense.
probably
Miami.
seen an image for sure, but yeah, they have like they've acquired like other legends. But no, I mean, I get it. Like, it's acting to me as a subcategory of like sport, and so.
Well, no, even like
I'm literally like saying, like laying in bed watching The Bear, and like, or just any good acted movie or television, or even like voice acted, like it just gets me like, oh, I want to do that. I want to create.
Yeah.
Like I love creating. I love the satisfaction of seeing your work.
Also, there's just something about being around other creative people. Like there's an endorphin release from that. Yeah. Which, speaking of, I think you're gonna get some of that from his new job that he starts next week.
Yeah.
I think you'll get some of that, the creativity again, you know. And I hope that there's people that you around that you work with that'll help feed that as well. I don't necessarily know if you'll be getting those from the kids, but maybe.
It's 3 to 11-year-olds.
It's what?
3 to 11-year-olds. I wouldn't sign up for anything higher. I'm not doing. Hey, once you turn 12, don't fucking talk to me. Unless you're my child, I don't want to associate with you.
I would give anything, because it would be bad if I contact your new boss and be like, can you please record every interaction? Because I can't, like, some kid, like, they're going to say some out of pocket shit. I already know. Because kids do. They say some crazy things.
Did I stutter?
Oh, I sent it to you. Did you watch it? The Instagram I sent you today? Like, I don't think you watched it because it's
I was
long.
working out. So
yeah,
no.
you need to. It's a letter that a 6-year-old wrote to his teacher after she took something away from him, and it is
the gall that teachers have confiscating personal. That's actually wild. That is like that's theft.
But it just reminded me, like, I could see you doing something like that if you hadn't been so afraid to speak up, you know?
Like when I'm just saying, like teachers, hey teachers, if you take away, like I get you can enforce no phones, right? And I get the benefits of that, right? And I think there's arguments on both sides. But if you were to just take someone's phone because you have a policy of no phones and confiscate it, that's like you going to like your 9-to-5 job and you're not supposed to have phones out and your boss just takes your phone. You can't just take someone's personal property because you can like punish them by like not paying them or like, you know what I mean? Like by like deducting pay or say like take off or whatever. You know what I mean? Like there's other ways of doing that, but like to actually take someone's personal property is insane.
Well,
it is a power complex that you have that makes me think you didn't get into the job of teaching. You got in it because you want to be in a position of power.
Here's my hot take on that.
I'm standing off my soapbox.
No, I'm going to get on mine, right? If we continue to insist on living in a country that is not going to have stricter gun laws, right? Then you don't take phones away. I want every kid, starting in kindergarten, to have a fucking phone, to have access to a phone, because no, because here's the other thing. Okay, maybe not in kindergarten, right? But definitely like 4th grade and up, like for sure. And if you're fighting for attention from a phone, maybe do again, we live in a country where we're overcrowding our school system, so it is harder to keep kids' attention. Like, I don't know, and do better. Be more interesting. Like, kids want to learn. They just don't want to be force-fed and had to spit out stuff. Like, I don't know. My whole thing is, if we're going to allow guns to be the way they are right now, they need to be able to have phones so they can contact their parents, so they can call, like it's such a scary place for them to like have that. And remember I told you that GPSC like has that now when phones are taken up. And I just feel like that's crazy. Also, like there's so much access to, like we Google everything now. Yeah. Like, and it's just say, oh, well, you can't do that in class. Why? We do it in real world.
Yeah, so
do it at jobs. You know how many times Andy Googled something?
You can't use this national source of information that you will always use pretty much in your regular life when you get outside. But you better know calculus. Like I'm not gonna use that. But you're making me not be able to use something that I will use?
Yeah. I don't know. It's just, and especially because schools are supposed to be teaching you how to work a 9-to-5 job, right? And again, you're allowed to have your phone at your job.
You teach you how to function in the real world. In the real world, you use Google.
Yeah.
Unless you're a psychopath that uses Bing.
Does that even exist anymore? That's insane. Is Ask Jeeves still around?
The fuck is that?
Exactly. They're about the same.
The furthest back I go is Yahoo Answers or Quora. I don't know what the fuck you just said.
Yahoo Answers is wild. Oh my god. Can I do it? We have the thread thing I was telling you about?
How long is it?
It's not super long.
Mom, how long is it?
It's
already too long.
Come on.
Already too long.
It's not that. I can read it quickly.
No, it's already too long.
I'm doing it on the next one.
Yeah,
whatever.
save it for the next
I'll read
one.
it to you later. Whatever. Anyhow, so are you excited about the new job?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I am.
I'm curious, like, how it's going to affect us being able to record. I think that's my whatever.
Yeah.
But we'll figure it out. Also, what kind of germs you're going to be bringing home.
Yeah.
You might want to mask up. They're little petri dishes. Kids are. It's like, it's going to be worse than when you were in theater.
I know. I'm excited, though.
Yeah. Oh,
Yes.
did Man City win? I didn't even check.
We tied.
Oh.
I mean, we drew 0-0. No one scored.
No one scored. Wait, who did they play?
Inter Milan. That's a pretty good Serie A team. Italian league.
Oh. What is this for?
Champions League.
Okay, that's right. That's right. I remember you saying that now.
But yeah, I mean, yeah, I'm excited. My friends are really excited for me.
Oh, that's good.
For 2 reasons, though. A, because they're excited for me, but B, that means I'm closer to knowing when I can get out there.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
Because, like, this is what I was waiting on.
Once you know what your schedule's going to be like.
Yeah. Which is like one of the last things I'll say before we get off. Mention, it's gonna haunt me forever going to USC for good and bad reasons. Came across a TikTok page of like someone I vaguely knew because of my ex, but like I was cool with her.
Mm-hmm.
This other person, she just made a TikTok like is kind of blowing up or kind of will blow up or has to whatever, doing a dance trend with fucking Will Schuester from Glee.
What?
Yes.
Why is she hanging out with him?
Because it's USC and they're in LA, and that just was bound to happen.
Also, like, pray for her because I think he's like known for being creepy.
Yeah, there's a lot of things. So literally, one time comment was like, "I didn't think I was gonna get Will Schuster in 2024."
Let's hope he didn't rap at her.
Going broke to broke. I ain't saying she a gold digger. Broke to broke.
Whatever. We were both down bad for that show.
Yeah,
You
but
can blame me.
I've
You can
acknowledged
blame me.
thing. There are some like songs like, I'm a Grant Gustin stan, bro. But yeah,
That's wild. I was like, isn't he like close to my age? It's just like,
he's older than you,
This is weird.
definitely.
no, I don't think he is. He? You think? You're gonna
I
Google
bet
it.
my bottom dollar.
I'm
That's like
curious
I
what that
like
came
I
from.
like busting out old white man sayings every now and then.
Listen, buddy.
Listen here.
Looky here.
Will Shoes. I don't even know his like bro's like actual name.
I don't remember
It's
his.
Matthew Morrison.
That's right. That's right.
He is older than you by just under a month. October 30th.
So it'll be
78.
46.
Yeah,
Yeah.
October 30th.
Which is, I'm telling you, I'm struggling right now. I'm struggling with that.
I don't think you're that old.
Well, my
Like,
body
I, like,
says it is.
and 45, 46 isn't that old to me, period. But like, I lose track of my own age. I'm about to be 22, and that's weird. And then I'm about to be 30, and then once I'm 30, I'm about to be 40, and then how am I already 40? That's crazy.
How am I already dead?
Yeah.
There, made that real dark. Sorry.
All right. Well, that's a good place to end it off.
You should clip in Debbie Downer at the end of the after and that. Are you okay?
Something comfortable.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Just wrap it up.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's good. We hope you all enjoyed it. Please remember, like, subscribe, share,
That share button.
comment.
Engage. Engage.
I don't know what that reminds me of.
Soldiers. Yeah.
Anyhow,
I love you.
I love you.
To the back.
To the
Let's do that
back.
again. Come on, let's restart that. Let's do that. Let's a little rewind. I love you to the back.
To the back.
Now, see, now I got to start over again because you ruined it. I love you to the back.
To the back.
To the back.
To the back.
Podcast.